Tell me specifically the details that you gave Newsnight.
Jimmy Savile had a girl on his lap and he had his hand up her skirt inside her underwear. She came from Duncroft and she was 14. We were good friends. The girl that Gary Glitter was having sex with also came from Duncroft. I think she might have been not quite 14. But we were all from Duncroft that day.
That's right, boy, can't you see? You better listen up, you better listen to me. Cause whenever it seems like it gets too much,
the leader speaks.
Do you wanna touch her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! We're talking about class, we're talking real fast.
We're talking about something that's gonna last.
Try and stand the pace if you can.
Everybody knows who's the leader of the gang.
Red hot, I'm red hot, you know what I've got. I'll get to you whether you like it or not. Red hot, I'm red hot, believe it or not. I'll get to you whether you like it or not. Here I come now.
Hot. Red hot.
Give it to me.
Why?
My reputation's hot. Look here.
Red hot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Red hot.
What you see is your creation. It's my red hot reputation.
Red hot.
I'm red hot. You know what I've got. I'll get to you whether you like it or not.
Red hot.
I'm red hot. Believe it or not. I'll get to you whether you like it or not. Say what?
Shy? Gary, have you ever seen a lady this shy before?
She's shy, but now she's, what is she?
Red hot!
She's
Red hot.
Don't you think she needs some applause? She's great.
The silence has been shattered, and more of those who were scared or felt they wouldn't be believed are coming forward. Karen Ward had told BBC's Newsnight last year of what she saw as a 14-year-old at the BBC, but to her anger, they didn't run it.
I told Newsnight that I saw Gary Glitter have sex with a girl in Jimmy Savile's dressing room in that little alcove, but didn't see it completely, obviously, but that's what was going on, and nobody batted an eyelid.
This was Gary Glitter on Jim'll Fix It. Karen Ward says she was also attacked by the TV presenter, and some at the BBC must have known.
I don't think the bigwigs knew, but I'm pretty sure that some of the... Well, on reflection, with hindsight, I'm pretty sure some of the production staff must have known.
The Nolan sisters, of course.
And pop star Colleen Nolan revealed that, also aged just 14, she'd had a difficult encounter with the presenter.
It was an uncomfortable situation the way he held me, and then he mentioned about going to a hotel. But that, you know, you didn't talk about those things then, you didn't think anything more about it. I just thought, oh, I don't like that, you know, 14-year-old. And to me, he was 112 then, you know, at 14, and I thought, no, thanks.
In Scarborough, the plaque at his former home has been defaced, and like the plaque, his reputation has been ruined, and some say it's not fair he's not alive to defend it. And the BBC has again had to defend itself. Karen Ward says it dropped her story because it involved allegations at the BBC. Newsnight says it's sorry if she and the other interviewees were disappointed, but it just didn't have the proof.
How did Newsnight tell you that the programme wasn't going ahead?
They didn't bother to say very much at all. They sent me a text saying the programme wasn't going ahead. That was it.
And what did that text say?
Programme's been cut, sorry.
And what was your reaction?
It wasn't easy. This isn't easy. It's not easy to come out and admit to something that you're actually bitterly ashamed of. I am ashamed of that. That's disgusting. What I did is, you know, it's not easy. It's never easy to admit it, that you were a victim. It's never easy to admit that you did anything that you're ashamed of. And having done it, and then found that it was scrapped, didn't matter, once again, yeah, I felt upset, aggrieved, angry. Jimmy Savile used to come to Duncroft. He used to take us girls out. We loved it when he came. Everybody knew he was a perv, and everybody knew that he was going to be groping and wanting sex and wanting other worse things than just plain sex. But he brought lots of nice things with him. We got nice food when Jimmy was coming, and we got lots of cigarettes. He used to bring about 1,000 cigarettes with him at the time, and of course cigarettes was the currency in that kind of environment. So girls just flocked around him, and he bought sweeties, and sometimes he bought perfume, and he bought makeup. A lot of things were duty free, and he just lavished gifts on everybody and was all jolly. And then he wanted people to come out for a ride with him in his car.
So tell me specifically the detail that you gave Newsnight in respect of Jimmy Savile.
I told Newsnight that what was the absolute truth was that Jimmy Savile took me out in his car one afternoon and pulled into a lay-by. This had happened before, and he had just sort of groped. There'd been a bit of snogging and groping. But this time he wanted more. When I mentioned it to the other girls later on, when we found out that we were going to London, I said, oh, it's because of me, it's because of what I did, and I did this. And found that one or two of the other girls had also done similar. One or two of them had had sex with him, all on the promise of being taken to London to be on his show.
And did you go to London?
Oh yes, we went to London several times. We were in an approved school for intelligent but emotionally disturbed girls, and there we were in London on a regular basis, mixing with rich and famous people, rubbing shoulders with celebrities, and it was fantastic a lot of the time. But some of the celebrities were actually not very nice. Some of them were wonderful.
And when you went to the London studios, did anything happen? Where did you go?
We went to Jimmy Savile's dressing room. Every week we would go there, and we would meet the guests that were going to be on his show in advance. It was quite a big room, and he had tables and chairs, and he had a big couch, and he had a little alcove with, I think there was a couch or something in there as well. I think there was a curtain that used to go across that, but I can't really remember. But all the people that were going to be on his show would be in and out of the dressing room. There was a lot of drinking, alcohol, and a lot of sort of camaraderie.
These are no ordinary holiday photos.
With these photographs, I can absolutely remember him grabbing me from the back. I've kept the photographs because they're my witness as to what happened, how I was sexually abused by Jimmy Savile when I was 14.
Dee Coles claims that in Jersey, not long after the photos were taken, Jimmy Savile attacked her and a friend in the camper van seen in the pictures.
Myself and a girl I met on holiday, that basically we were taken into his van by him on a couple of occasions and made to do sexual acts. It was my first introduction to the male body, really, so I think the whole thing was just an incredible shock. And
this happened to you and your friend?
Yeah, and it's a girl I'd just met on holiday, so I've after it happened, he tried to get us back in the van the second time. And my memory then is that, that was, for me, that was the end of the holiday. It was the first that I just didn't go near him or the van or see her again. So I've no idea what happened to her. Afterwards, I think it's just shame. Just the biggest emotion that you can ever feel is shame. And I carry that now to a certain extent. I think particularly now I know other women have come forward and said, this happened to me, Because at the time, I just thought, well, it was just a one-off. It was me and my friend, and I had no image at all that other children were being sexually abused by him.
How would you describe Jimmy Savile, the type of person that you know he was?
I suppose the first word that comes to my head is that he was really strong. I think to sexually abuse two 14-year-olds, even though the door was locked, I think that's the shock of it, really, that we just couldn't get out. I suppose the compassionate side of me wants to say he was a man that obviously needed some help. The gut reaction is just to say there was something quite evil about him.
This was Jimmy Savile in Jersey 40 years ago, around the time when Dee alleges he attacked her. But why has she, like the other women, waited until his death to speak out?
Who would I have told, and who would have believed me? Why I've chosen to speak now is in the hope that the women that are coming forward and saying they were sexually abused by Jimmy Savile are believed. You know, I panic if I think those women or myself are not going to be believed, and I panic to think this could just happen over and over again in the world, and of course it will, but I'd like people to try and take some responsibility. Adults take responsibility.
She never complained, but Jersey police today confirmed it had investigated a separate alleged assault by Jimmy Savile at the notorious former children's home Haute de la Garenne, but there wasn't enough evidence. For Dee Coles, after looking at the holiday photos one last time, she's now given them away. Lucy Manning, ITV News, Brighton.
There were so many rumours about Jimmy Savile during his lifetime that I can't say this amazed me, but I felt, as everybody feels, that it's a real shame that this is now being said after his death, so he cannot answer them. So at the beginning I thought, well, I will listen to what they say, but I will remain neutral. But of course when I heard what they said, and I heard how they corroborated each other, I couldn't stay neutral. In fact, I found it deeply distressing, because I felt personal guilt, even though, you know, I didn't work in his department, even though no child came forward and complained to me, I still felt responsible for creating this icon figure. St. Jimmy, knighted by the Queen, knighted by the Pope, fantastic charity fundraiser, which of course he was all those things. But he was also a child abuser.
I was not at all surprised. Everybody in the broadcasting world knew that this was going on. I mean, it was a subject of common gossip. He had a reputation for being attracted to young girls, and he talked quite openly about it. And one of the things I would say in his defence is that he never attempted to cover it up. Everybody knew about his predilection for underage girls. He was quite open about it. And society was less sensitive about it in those days.
The Nolan sisters, of course.
Free to display their own taste in clothing, the girls made it onto Top of the Pops, only to encounter the corporation's eccentric uncle.
I stood next to Jimmy Savile, and I was 14, and he was all over me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit like, ooh, I don't think I like it.
This is a Nolan here, but she's not old enough to join.
But it's funny, because then you know it's family, because I could see my sisters glaring at him like, you touch her and we'll kill you, and they would have. You know, and that's where family come into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are more Nolans than me.